Well, let's have a look through the papers. The last time this morning with Vicky Beeching and Patrick Strudwick. And we'll start off with some Labradoodles. Should we?
Yes, yeah. But we're getting to the really important issues here. No, but it is important, really. Wally Conman, who is the man responsible for the Labradoodle, which, of course, is the cross between the Labrador and the Poodle, has come out and said that he regrets crossing these breeds because they've led to a surge of unhealthy and abandoned animals. They're part of a whole raft of so-called sort of designer crossbreeds, including my favourite portmanteau, the Cockapoo, which is a cross between a Cocker Spaniel and a Poodle. But the serious issue is that, you know, people want these, you know, fun, cute crossbreeds, but what we're left with is, you know, all these sort of farms creating them to sate this need, and a lack of proper homes to look after.
Are there any rules on what you can crossbreed? Because it strikes me that some...
I think they're trying to get more and more outlandish, aren't they? Because when I lived in California, I was there for 4 years, and these tiny dogs in the handbags, you know, the kind of classic blonde Californian lady with dog in bag, they really were the thing. And the health of these were so fragile. I was actually telling Patrick, one friend of mine bought one, spent a vast amount of money, and it was just quivering from the moment she picked it up. God. She put it in her car, she slammed the door, and it died.
Oh, my goodness.
They're literally that fragile that kind of a shock, they can't even take it, such as the kind of brittleness of their nervous system, because they've been created, you know, not only the crossbreed but the downsizing, because people want the tiny ones and they're the ones that really go.
We need to stop seeing animals as our servants and there to sate our needs and our cute...
like an accessory rather than actually a life form.
Yes. We are all animals.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
I find it very odd. To the Sunday Times, should we? And now the Pope, Vicky, is a sort of a modern Pope in many ways. So I'll bring that down a bit. But he's tweeting in Latin.
I know, we've spoken well of him a lot on these slots, haven't we, in the past? And he is really going with the times. But on Twitter, he has multiple accounts, so you can follow him in English, but you can also follow him in Latin. And I imagine that the Vatican probably thought this is not going to catch on, but he's got over 210,000 followers reading along in Latin. I don't know if they do or not, but there's a vast amount of interest in this.
Take Latin.
And basically people are saying, how interesting is it that the internet, mainly blamed for, you know, text speak, LOL, kind of the disintegration of language, could actually now possibly be popularising, going back to a medieval language that underpins, you know, English itself. So I think it's quite an interesting juxtaposition.
Quem dimum custatum sibi vita assutim Dei quotas im amorem.
I disagree.
Translate.
That was very moving.
Thank you. I
got away with that. It's kind of poetic.
It's a beautiful language, and no more beautiful than when spoken by you, Stephen.
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't really think that this is going to cause a huge upsurge in appreciation for Latin.
No.
And I think because we're going against the tide here.
But a lot of people are interested in mottos, though. I've seen a lot of interest. A lot of script tattoos in Latin. I think people are wanting that sense of ancient sort of meaning.
Tattoos is not enough to research.
Well, it's still culture,
Latin.
isn't it? It's still, you know, it's still happening. Still a resurgence of interest.
I wanted my oldest daughter to do Latin. She was very good at it. Refused because she said, "Oh, Mum, it's not a modern language." But it underpins so much of our professions:
so
law,
isn't it?
medicine.
Yeah, and the formation of words.
And you can speak it in the Vatican.
Can and tweet along.
Yeah, but they do say if you learn Latin, that it is the key to learning any other language.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
And now you can learn it from Pope Francis in 140
Carpe
characters.
diem.
Exactly. I nearly got that tattooed on my arm. How cheesy is that?
Did you really?
But I didn't, so there you go.
Have you got any tattoos, Vicky?
No, my sister has, but I haven't.
Being personal.
No, just ask. I'm just asking.
Can I just say about the Pope? Was there a story last week about him auctioning off a Harley Davidson?
There is, yes.
What was he doing with the Harley Davidson?
Well, he has been many things. He's been a nightclub bouncer. I mean, he's had quite an interesting past.
There's nothing godly about burning that much fossil fuel.
No, but to be fair, that Harley was a gift given to him a couple of months ago.
That wasn't actually his, but he has sat on it and, you know, touched it.
I did wonder.
He's been blessed by the Pope.
I'd quite like to see the Pope riding a Harley, actually. That'd be quite cool.
The Pope-mobile.
Yeah.
Talking of driving, though, Patrick, Mail on Sunday, smoking in cars, which has been obviously in the news all week.
Yeah, Jacob Rees-Mogg, who comes across as perhaps the poshest Tory MP to have ever lived, has written an opinion piece here in the Mail on Sunday saying that he cannot support the ban on smoking in cars with
Why
children
not?
present, because he's basically a libertarian and believes that, you know, this is the nanny state. He calls us anti-smoking people authoritarians, busybodies, and do-gooders. So he comes out on this ticket of libertarianism, except, you know, the children of smokers don't have any liberty in this situation. They don't have a choice. They're inhaling fumes which are carcinogenic. So I would rather put the rights of children above the rights of adults to do as they please.
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
totally agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
It's not like he's saying you can't smoke as an adult.
I'm all against nanny state, but actually,
And
when
it's
it's
a bit rich
kids
for Jacob
involved.
Rees-Mogg
Me
to talk
too.
about the nanny state when this is the MP that went canvassing with his nanny, his own nanny.
That
Oh,
is
she
That
might
tells
have-
you everything you need to know about the
True.
Conservative Party.
She might have been a very good campaign. No, that is, to be fair, that's a very big brushstroke, Patrick. You can't say things like that. Vicky, I'm being told we're out of time, but just very briefly, kids coding.
Yeah, very interesting.
Is that-
Very short, in September it's coming into the national curriculum, and basically we're equipping kids to really live in this digital age, to know how to you know, master computer speak in the most basic sense. And
Yeah.
they're saying, you know, you could teach them Latin, but teach them code, or both.
Teach them coding, and they'll be able to do anything they like.
Exactly. I think this is a really good step forward.
Yeah,
But
brilliant.
can
very
they
clever.
touch type?
Eh?
But can they touch
The
type?
robots will be doing that for them, won't they?
Yeah.
I wish someone would do it for me.
They'll be able to dictate. Lovely, guys. Thank you. Stay with us. Much more coming out in just a moment. So we're looking at the papers with Vicky and with Patrick. Wagnav is a headline I had to read twice to find out what on earth that was about.
This is brilliant. So earlier this morning we talked about life logging for humans, where you can wear wristbands and things like that. This is actually something for your dog.
Doggy data.
So it's great. It's doggy data. It's called Whistle, and it's a small disc that you attach to your dog's collar, and it only costs £80, so not a vast amount for what it gives you. And it will monitor your dog's exercise and its general health and well-being and its habits. And a lot of dogs don't get the exercise that they need. I think we actually get a lot less exercise than we need, so you can actually forget that maybe you haven't walked your dog sufficiently. This will tell you what to do, send you little reminders, and you know, remind you of health checks, and just keep an eye on your dog. So for me, it's technology sort of having a really positive impact on everyday life.
Does it work on cats?
I don't know. Do you think that's catist?
Well, I worry about my kitten, whose name is Liza, because I wonder if she's getting enough exercise. I don't want
She
her.
needs this.
I don't want her getting
Must
fat.
have accessory.
No,
for
is
Eliza.
she a house cat? Or
She's a house cat. Yeah.
Oh, if you don't get a lot of exercise, then what you need to do is put her out in the garden, Patrick.
Yeah, but my garden back's onto a main mode, Stephen.
Death trap. She needs this.
Yeah.
And a little treadmill.
Mind you, this is 20 quid cheaper than a jawbone up. So could we use it for? Could I just stick it on
humans.
somewhere? It's cheaper for me.
You can take the dog version.
Yeah,
Perfect.
take the dog version. It worked. Guys, thank you. I'm going to get myself all equipped ready for next time you're on.
It's the closest you'll get to a
I'll be
dog collar.
beeping away. Let's see what Charlie's got on the